Alright, hey everybody. I recently got into the Dark Souls 2 network test, and I made a video that should showcase all of my PvP encounters throughout the entire beta. And yeah, I did. I also PvE'd. I got to one of the bosses, beat it, and all that, and it was great. But I decided mainly for this video to focus on strictly PvP. So I'm showing you all of my PvP experiences. Now, if you notice at the top right, there is there's my SL, my soul level, and the agility level. The reason why I did that is because after I leveled up a few times, like I think I pumped some points into dexterity and then vitality. That was during the first time we got to play, which was right after we received the codes. For some reason we were able to play for like 45 minutes, but nothing of real note happened. But whenever I got into this beta, my plan was to strictly boost agility to try and figure out more about what it does. So I'm displaying my soul level and my agility level at the top right of the entire video, and I'm also showing, as you can see, the bonfire segments, so you could see as they raise the evasion, the action speed, and the trap disabling. And maybe someone will be able to figure out more about diminished returns and stuff. But yeah, as far as I can tell, whenever it comes to agility, it seems to see that guy. That guy just fell off the edge on his own. Gravity is back, and it's in full force. It hurts very badly. This is my favorite emote. This guy, I love it. But yeah, as you can see, I'm increasing agility, and it seems to affect iframes and movement speed. I noticed at a low level of agility, the game felt very sluggish. You felt like you were moving so slow. But after getting agility up, everything started to feel a lot smoother, a lot quicker. It felt like, I'm willing to say it felt as fluid as Dark Souls and Demon Souls PvP at higher levels of agility. I'm not sure where that breakpoint happened. As you can see right there, I got shot by an arrow, and it actually slowed me down. It halted my run. Thought that was really cool. This guy, Big Brian's, I'm in the covenant that summons somebody to assist you, and apparently he automatically got summoned, and I decide here to take the scumbag tactic. That's because I'm in the beta, I'm trying to level up and everything, so we're on a time limit, no time to be polite. That's one thing I'm gonna love about Dark Souls 2. Like the first few weeks or so, everyone's gonna be looking to level and everything, so it's gonna be crazy. Like, people are gonna be just murdering everybody, so that's gonna be really cool. But I didn't get the chance to try trap disabling. There was a part where I could try it. There's a chest that's trapped, but I just didn't think to attempt anything. Maybe on the next phase I can. I love the torch in the distance as the invader runs up. So cool. But yeah, I'm hoping this video can you might be able to watch the earlier invasions compared to the later invasions. Landing that parry. The parries, the timing felt really natural after a while. I don't know. Raising agility does let you raise your shield faster. As far as parrying faster, I tried to compare it. I don't think you actually parry faster, but you might have more it might increase the window. I'm not sure. I wish I would be able to test it further. We have plenty of time in the next network test to do that. Maybe I'll be able to figure out a little more on that. But the parry timings, I land quite a few of them. They just, like I said, they just felt pretty natural. It felt more like Demon Souls timing than Dark Souls timing. The game played a lot. If I would say it was worst PvPer ever has come to your aid. Thank you. I'm so glad that happened. But it felt more like Demon Souls. Like overall, it felt a lot like Dark Souls in some elements, but it felt a lot like Demon Souls, and I am 100% fine with that. As y'all may know, I love Demon Souls. I prefer Demon Souls over Dark Souls in every way. Something to note: the Blue Covenant, what are they called? Sentinels of the Blue, I believe, the ones that get summoned into your world. They can't hurt enemies in your game. They are strictly there in open seas taking swings. I didn't know that at the time. I was like, oh, this guy must be lagging. What the hell? As you can see, my iframes on that dodge. I feel if I were lower agility, I would not have dodged that first attack. But yeah, they can't attack any enemies in your game. They're strictly there to hunt down and kill the invader, which I think is a really cool concept. I'm actually tempted to join that covenant, just because if I'm helping the players who need help, as y'all know, I am the polite dick wraith. Like I invade, and 9 times out of 10, if I'm like winning too easily, or if I think he's just trying to get through the level, I feel bad. So I'm actually tempted to join that if I can actually protect hosts who actually need protecting. I think that's a really cool idea. Some people consider it the Ganker Covenant, which it potentially could be. But as far as helping people who are moving through the stage, I've always considered that no problem. Like, I'm sorry if you consider 2 or even 3-on-1 scumbag ganking all the time, but if they're progressing through the level, you cannot expect people to say, oh, we got invaded, let's halt all of our progress and potentially get sent back and do it all over again and lose our bloodstain and everything just to duel this guy one at a time. No, that's not gonna happen. Worst PvPer ever has been vanquished. Thank you. I'm glad that happened. Right here, I'm trying to test plunging attacks. So a few times I actually climbed this ladder, hoping to get a plunge on somebody. The dual wielding, you hold triangle and you go into a dual wield stance. Your R1 and R2 are just your right hand weapon, like normal, but your L1 and L2, instead of becoming just your left hand weapon, it turns into dual wield attacks. And as you see right here, I fail miserably. I actually L1'd right there, so you cannot L1 plunging attack if that means anything to anyone. But I noticed you fall a lot faster, so gravity may have been buffed. That second swing parry. But what else? Guard breaks. There's a new feature where if you, I don't find it out until later on in the beta. I do it once in PvP. It would have helped me a few times if I would have known sooner. But the toward R1 attack, it no longer kicks. It does a like almost like a backhand. And what it does is if you hit somebody who's turtling, who has their shield up, it breaks their guard instantly. And you can then combo that into, you know, a flurry of attacks and such. But there's also another feature where if a player has their shield up and they run out of stamina, instead of just being a typical guard break, they actually go into a like a Dark Souls 1 parry animation, like where they got parried. I'm wanting to test the bow, so one of the things we wanted to test is if you can shoot people behind their shield, like get a headshot on them while their shield is raised, and you cannot. I was able to test it with Brandon, aka Ouroboros the Ninja. It can't be done, but I tried a few times. But yeah, as I was saying, if you manage to decrease all their stamina, if they run out of stamina and guard break, they go into a Dark Souls 1 style just got parried animation, and you can walk up to them and riposte them, like full blown riposte them. We figured this out because Nelson, aka Yuka's Legion 2, he did a jumping attack on somebody and it broke his guard, and then he just went up to attack like normal and he ended up doing a full riposte, which we watched the footage. It was amazing. I barely pulled that one off. I tried to do a health check. This guy. I tried to do a health check, but apparently it doesn't display your current health in that screen, as far as I could tell at least, which kind of sucks. But now, this see, this is the kind of thing that I wouldn't consider ganking. This is it's the beta. Dude's just trying to get through the level. But something a lot of people had issues with is stun locking. If you get hit and they have enough stamina, so that failed backstab attempt, it looks like a punch. That's what that was. If you get hit, you basically are at their mercy. As far as we could tell, there's no way out of it. You know, if you don't have the poise to withstand it, I should say. Now notice how slow his health is regenerating. You see that? Now I'll go back to the stun locks, but notice how slow his health is regenerating once he drank that Estus. Now watch whenever I drink mine. I drink mine in a moment here. Look at that. I'm guessing that means agility. Let's see, his doesn't even stand a chance. Gravity. Sacrifice the gravity. I'm guessing agility must increase your... see, there's the stun lock. Agility must do something with your healing, as far as Estus is concerned. I tried to compare it as a host, like, but it didn't look any different. But as an invader, it seems like it was quicker. I don't know. I have no idea. But anyway, back to the stun locks. A lot of people consider it a problem because you're literally at their mercy until they empty all of their stamina. But I didn't have too many issues with it. I mean, you know, you get stun locked, but that fail arrow attempt trying to test the behind the shield. But I didn't have that many issues concerning it. I actually really enjoyed everything about the beta, about the gameplay and everything. But maybe they'll implement a way to break out of stun locks. I doubt it though. I think the way to deal with it will be poise. Now, we didn't have too many armor sets to pick from, so we couldn't like do much customization as far as like more poise and everything goes. I don't think it's going to be an issue. Everyone's worried about it. I really don't think it's going to be game breaking. My overall experience in the beta was very enjoyable. I can't wait to play the next phase of it. But yeah, the dual wielding was really, really fun. You get a significant boost in damage from dual wielding. Like, it's pretty absurd. Like, not once did I want to go back to just left hand, right hand. I'm attempting that plunge again. I didn't want to switch back. I just stayed dual wielding the entire time, pretty much, except whenever I switch to my shield to parry. And fail, of course. Something of note that I noticed in the first beta that I got to play for like 45 minutes when they first released the codes, I noticed that whenever I stun lock somebody, it looked like decreased damage over time. Like a good way to explain it is in, say, like a fighting game like Mortal Kombat. In the newest Mortal Kombat that come out, you juggle somebody up in the air and you do the same attacks. Each time you do that repetitive attack, it's less damage. He falls off as he's trying to use the life gem. Oh, gravity. But it's less damage every time you do the repetitive attack during the combo. Whenever I stun locked the guy, I went back and looked at the damage numbers. What were they? The first hit did, and this was R1 spam. R1 spam, and I think, oh, as you can see, this would happen to be Ouroboros the Ninja, one of our few duels we had. But yeah, the first attack did 122, tried to roll backstab him and got punished. First attack did 122 damage, the second one did 97 damage, the third one did 79 damage. So that's roughly, I did the math, that's roughly 20% less damage per attack in the stun lock that I had on him. I don't know, the damage numbers are very strange in this game. We try to test things and we get different damages. One theory that we came up with was, try to parry him, failed. One theory that we came up with was, we're wondering if character position affects the damages. Like, if say an enemy has his arm out, like in front, that might reduce the damage. That sounds ridiculous, I know, but we didn't know why we're getting such different damage numbers. Something I did personally notice and we did test, and it is certain, is if you are a certain distance from the enemy, you will have different damages. There's a range. So if I clip you from a good space away, it's going to be significantly reduced damage. Like if I hit you with like the tip of my weapon, I don't know if that counts for like thrusted attacks, but like if I swing and I slash you with just like the tip of my sword, it's going to be significantly less damage. That actually that may have been a block. I would say that may have been an example, but I don't think so. It'll be significantly less damage opposed to if I were point blank on you. So it's really cool that they added that in. I guess that would actually really help with phantom range, come to think of it. I know everyone who's used to PvP in the first Dark Souls knows all about phantom range and how wonderful it is. Now it shouldn't be as bad. This is my second fight with Brandon. Oh man. And see, he's going for the backstab punish. He just attempted it. And right there he's like, "You're trying to parry me. I know you're trying to parry me." And I was like, "Yep. Yep." And then classic Brandon. R1 to win. Yeah. That guy. We talked about it and we said it's very reminiscent of our first fight we ever had. Just to talk about that real quick. First fight me and Ouroboros the Ninja ever had, he ran up to me to use his falchion, his beloved falchion, and he threw out an attack. The first attack Brandon ever threw out at me, I slapped it away, parried, riposted, but then he proceeded to get up and melt me, but we don't talk about that. We pretend that never happened. But yeah, that felt reminiscent of that. As you can see, someone was sent to assist. They have that backstab animation is so awesome. They have a covenant ring similar to the forest. I had to test roll backstabs at some point. I don't know if that's conclusive at all because the attack wasn't directed at me, but that seemed rather easy. So unlocking and running behind someone who has their shield up, like turtling, it might not be too tough. I'm not sure. But yeah, Covenant of Blue seems like a cool concept. Getting closer to 40. My main plan was to get to 40 agility. This whole video is mainly to try and, you know, show beginning PvP with agility and higher level agility. I wish I would have had more endurance, but unfortunately I was just pumping agility. Shield bashes are actually going to be viable as far as I can tell. They seem they will actually be viable, which makes me really happy because I would love to use a big strength build with a great shield, you know, all that. It's just, in Dark Souls 1 they're just so pointless. Backstab punish. And this is something we need to go back and test. I feel as though I throw those faster because of my agility. Maybe not. I didn't really get the chance to use them that often, so I didn't use them earlier on, so I didn't really get to test it properly. That would be a green blossom, and that would be aromatic ooze, essentially sticky white stuff from Demon Souls. And so first time I'm able to buff this guy. It was pretty laggy. I just started swinging and hoping for the best because it was, I had very few super laggy fights like that. It was just, overall it was really enjoyable. I loved it. Putting on that aromatic ooze again. See, if I would have known about the backhand breaking a turtle's, this guy's not really turtling, but I think I would have done much better in PvP than I did. It literally knocks them back and you can follow up with a combo. Something else of note, as you can see, the buff did not wear off whenever I switched my bow. Anyone who offhands a bow and has ever tried buffing in Dark Souls 1 will know that you lose your buff the moment you fully equip the bow. Here's something that I could not resist trying, and I'm glad I did. Look at that distance. I think I failed that plunge. Maybe not. There was a little bit of lag, but I'm pretty certain I failed the plunge. I wish I would have fully landed it, but the distance, that jump distance, was fantastic. I don't know if that's increased by agility. I didn't really, I didn't think to test jumping distance early on. This match was it was a little laggy, but you know, still enjoyable. All I know is whenever I get into the next phase of the beta, I'm going to get my endurance up and my health very quickly. I'm done raising agility. I don't know if 40 is going to be the level for agility. For all I know, it might be 25, like Demon Souls luck. I doubt it, but I'm just saying I'm not sure where the diminished returns are. My plan was to get to 40 and possibly toggle above that Alright, timeout. Did you guys notice that as well? I noticed this after I finished the video, so I'm going to pause it, bring it back, and show y'all a quick replay. Notice how he stuns me, and then as he's bringing around the second swing, I'm actually able to raise my shield in time to prevent it, and prevent from getting stun locked. I believe that because agility raises action speed, which in turn raises the speed at which you can actually lift your shield up, I believe that enough agility will allow you to prevent from being stun locked from heavier, more punishing weapons like this Wayhander. As for smaller, faster weapons, I think we'll just be able to deal with that with poise, but that's my theory on it. I just wanted to let y'all know because I noticed it after going over the footage. I'll test it further in the next network test, but yeah, I'm going to go ahead and let the video continue from where we last left off. Which I'm able to get to 41. As you can see, I rolled through that attack. I feel I would not have done that without high agility. This guy has no pants. At all. Of all the things to take off, you take off your pants. I don't know. I don't know why. Here's a good example coming up of the stun locking everyone is upset about. Right here. I think I even attempted to toggle, but it's not happening. But if we all had a little more poise, I don't think it would be too big of an issue. Now, I know a lot of you are going to have many more questions, but again, this video is basically just meant to be a bit of a showcase of higher level agility PvP to be compared with lower level agility PvP. Unfortunately, it seems as though something you kind of have to experience for yourself. I can say it will increase iframes and overall movement speed, as far as I can tell. Possibly something to do with healing, maybe only during invasions, I don't know. But yeah, whenever there's so much more information we have overall. Poor guy. So much more information that we have overall to go through, but I just wanted to showcase my PvP experiences and higher level agility PvP, because that's all I love about it. This right here, this is something of note. Scumbag going for the headshot. Notice he didn't flinch, and at first I thought it didn't do any damage. So I tried to, of course, bait him into another gesture, so I'm a scumbag, and I tested again. No flinch, but as you can see, you don't see damage numbers unless you're locked onto them, or their health or anything. So I'm fairly certain of that damage that it's pretty wacky. I'm fairly certain that health he's missing is from the 2 headshots. But something to note is, I'm thinking if you have on like a helmet, like a steel helmet, whatever the case may be, closed mask, I think it's going to prevent you from getting stunned with the headshot. I don't think it's going to negate the damage. That's something that we need to test further. But oh, is it this match? Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all watch this. Best match ever. And we're done here. I knew it would break his guard. so yeah, that's the backhand mechanic. It may not have looked as though his guard broke. I noticed a lot of people were talking about how whenever they stun lock somebody, they don't go into... It looks like they're poise tanking it, but they're not moving. I would assume this has something to do with the beta. Like it seems to maybe not be showing their full animations during invasions. That's the backhand again. But yeah, I would imagine it's all going to be polished up. Little did I know that summon right there is 4th sequence. I'm sure many of you know 4th. He got summoned into this guy's world. I had no idea until after the beta was over. We were, at this point, I believe we were, yeah, at this point we were well beyond the 2 hours we were supposed to have. So everyone was in a rush because we didn't know when it was going to end. Turns out they decided to give us 3 hours. So we're just trying to get as much done with the extra time as we could. So I wasn't checking messages or anything. I was just rushing through it. Right here. Successful roll backstab, maybe? Maybe roll backstabs are back to an extent. Not certain. Now, I don't know why right here I didn't do the guard break. I knock a guy off a ledge with it, but I don't do it whenever I need it to kill 4th sequence. It would have made it so much simpler. If I were to do it, his shield would have gotten knocked back and I could have followed up with some slashes. Yeah, good fight for it. Now his host, on the other hand, ends up doing something which you'll see. Give it a second. You see, I don't know if he wanted a fist fight or if that was accidental, but I get really excited. I'm like, oh my god, fist fight, fist fight. What do I do? How do I even? We're gonna fist fight. This is about to happen. I don't know how to do anything. And then I'm like, wait, I want dual fist. And then he attacks me. But I want to heal because I got hit with a Zweihander. Look at this though. That's a fist backstab. And I want to say, I would have to check with whoever was doing strength. I want to say that I'm 90% sure that fist damage scales with strength. Like unarmed damage. And possibly even wearing heavy gauntlets increases that damage. Again, I wasn't the one testing that. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt. But yeah, even though he had his way out, I was in fist fight mode. That's what we're doing here. That knock up. I'm so glad they have more moves that knock up and knock down and stuff. That message from 4th sequence. Sorry, 4th, I didn't reply. Good game. Right here, I believe I land the combo on him. Yep. Now you see, even though that's very little damage, keep in mind, I have like base strength. And like only agility basically. So fist fighting builds viable, maybe. Fist fighting in general, like people just duking it out, yes, definitely going to be a thing. I'm excited about that. I ended up invading into this impromptu fight club here. But yeah, just to note, I just decided I would do some commentary on this video rather than just putting it out like normal. I know I've mainly only talked about agility and dual wielding and such, and a few other mechanics, but if y'all have any questions at all that I know the answer to, that I'm not remembering right now because I don't have a list in front of me or anything. I find anytime I try to do commentary, there's the other knockdown. Anytime I try to do commentary that's very structural, like I try to with like an outline in front of me and stuff, I end up just it doesn't work out. So I know I'm forgetting a million things, but if y'all want to ask me whatever you can think of in the comments below, if I know the answer to it, I'll let you know. You know, if I experience it myself or I know of the answer, just ask and I'll try to answer everybody, because I know I'm not covering much. Like I said, this is just supposed to be a showcase of all my PvP experiences and higher level agility PvP. Now watch right here. I do the toward R1 and follow it up with some attacks. I believe his shield is raised at that point. But that's not the one we're basing it off of. We have actually like tested it in a closed setting. It does work. I wanted the parry, didn't happen, unfortunately. That face, my character's face was kind of, I don't know how I felt about it, but this is me toggling over to 41, and then I didn't want to go above 40, so I just end up putting the last stat into endurance, because I was only able to do like 2 attacks without running out of stamina. But yeah, I'm not sure where the stopping point's gonna be for agility. I really wish I was able to test trap disabling, but not exactly. This guy's armor, by the way, is like, y'all want to talk about fashion souls? Oh my god. I saw Dom Not Bomb play, and he got this armor by killing the what is it, the Brothers of Blood, I believe is the covenant name, which we're assuming is the Dark Wraith Covenant. It's you kill the NPC and you get his armor, which it looks like, I said it looked like bones of like fingers coming out the back, but everyone else said it's like spider legs, but whatever. It looks amazing is the whole point of that. Right here he I'm wanting to keep fighting, but he shrugs at me, so I shrug back because I'm planning on fighting to the death. But I hope y'all enjoyed the video. That's all I got for y'all right now. Maybe there'll be more as I get it, as we go over stuff and figure it out, but I just wanted to showcase PvP and higher level agility. So I hope y'all got some new information from this video. I hope y'all liked it, and I'll see y'all next time.